What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Lex, and today we're going to be talking about Transformers Rise of the Beast. It's really cool to be seeing the Transformers back on the big screen since they've been gone for quite a while now. I didn't really know what to expect going into this. I just kind of went into it thinking, like, hopefully it's a good movie. And I gotta be honest with you, I was really pleasantly surprised. This entire movie was actually pretty good. It's really cool to be seeing Hispanics as the forefront of like acting nowadays, and especially now that it's being more diverse and it's just not like a middle-aged white man just playing like the star of the show. Now it's just like a multi-diversity of people, so it's really good to be seeing that, especially with the main character being Noah in this film, and the fact that like we're seeing that on screen and kind of them showing the culture of what's going on. It's really amazing. So I really got to shout them out for doing that in the first place. It could really inspire kids nowadays to pursue acting or pursue those type of ventures. All right, this movie definitely is a good movie, but it does have some flaws in it. The flaws being that some of the movie's narrative seems to be a little bit weak. A little the writing seems to be a little weak too. A little cheesy here and there, but they do get some jokes off throughout the movie, especially with Pete Davidson's character Mirage. I really enjoyed him, and I was like, it's Pete Davidson. Okay, let's see if he does a good job or not. But wow, I was super surprised that he did a fantastic job in this movie. He kind of killed it. He was MVP of the movie. Throughout the whole entire movie, he almost had this like level of comedic timing, and he almost brought a lot of the scenes to life. It was actually very entertaining to watch, especially when there was like really dull moments throughout the movie. This time around, I gotta say, they made a really good villain of the story. They made a really good like impression on me as far as like fearing the enemy in this movie, especially with these Decepticons named Scourge, which is the main villain of the movie here. And he was actually freaking scary. He was actually like terrifying. Like when I saw him on screen, he was able to bring this intensity with him, and they were able to portray him pretty good. I know Peter Dinklage was doing the voice this time around, so it was awesome to kind of see that actually fear the enemy this time around, where it doesn't seem like, oh, this guy is just a weak enemy. It's whatever, they're gonna get done with him. It's not this big bulky guy. It's not this humongous transformer. It's actually like more slimmer down, but little more precise. He had these little two robots with him that he would kind of help try to kill people or try to kill the transformers, and it was cool. It was pretty interesting to see that being like portrayed here, because it actually brought a level of fear to me, and throughout the entire movie it actually brought like, I gotta like, oh no, here they come again, like what are they gonna do? And I gotta say the entire movie was kind of gritty as well. It was actually kind of like, it was had dark tones throughout the movie. It wasn't a movie that was like, oh, we're the Transformers, we're just gonna beat these guys up or whatever. No, there were actually like really dark moments, really gritty moments through the entire time. Like there was a lot of it. There was a lot of fights throughout the movie where they were kind of discussing with each other what they were gonna do to them. They're gonna chop their heads off. They're gonna cut them from the inside. Like it was pretty crazy to be like hearing them talk like that. And I was like, okay, okay, I see where we're going with this movie. This movie had a lot of action parts as well. It wasn't just a fully narrative movie. It had a lot of action through the entire movie, which was fantastic to see. I mean, that's the thing we want to see with the Transformers. We just want to see them fighting. We don't just want to see them like talking through the whole entire thing. Another thing that was really surprising about this movie was the soundtrack. They had a lot of great tracks from Wu-Tang, from Biggie. Like they actually, I felt like someone was in there in the studio and was like, we need to pick the right tracks, because everything was amazing. Like the songs they were playing, everything just felt right. It felt good, especially them being from New York and them playing Wu Tang and playing Biggie. Like it was actually pretty good for them to get the rights and put it in this movie. It's like, I mean, then again, Transformers is a massive franchise. I don't doubt their ability to be able to do that. But wow, man, like the soundtrack was really good. I really enjoyed it. I wonder if they have like a album on Spotify or Apple that just has the whole track list there, because wow, that was a good soundtrack. I haven't heard one of those in a long time. And for it to be coming from a Transformers movie, it's like, what? You know what I mean? So that was really cool to hear and listen to. Like I said earlier, the narrative tended to be a little bit cheesy, a little bit wacky. It was weak at some points. The movie isn't like a whole entire kind of thing that's like nuanced through the whole thing. It's a straightforward movie as it goes. You know, then there isn't much narrative to it. It's kind of like, hey, help us stop the villain. We need your help. Can you do this for us? Could you do that for us? They were kind of just guiding the humans around when they were just kind of doing the most of the heavy lifting. As far as that aspect of it, that's the thing that kind of held back this movie, is the fact that it was kind of weak in the writing parts. It was kind of weak in those moments. I didn't really fall in love with each of the characters. I mean, the thing about it is that we already know who the Transformers are, who we already know who the Autobots are, and it's like, okay, like, you know, it was kind of a whatever thing, but the whole entire story and the way it kind of congealed with each other was the whole package is what mattered here and what was really entertaining. And if you could get through that through the whole movie, I think you find yourself enjoying it. A lot of the battles were satisfying. They were massive. It wasn't just like a small battle. They actually had battles and fights through the whole entire movie. You weren't waiting a long time for another battle to happen. It was kind of constantly doing it, which was really great to see, really entertaining. I think one of the final battles was amazing to see. I didn't expect that. You know, sometimes when we get to the end of these type of movies, they become lackluster, and it becomes frustrating because you invest so much time through the whole entire thing, which this movie was only like an hour and 50 minutes, which was surprising. I thought it would be a little bit more than like 2 hours. The introduction to the Maximals was awesome too. Like, I'm not a really big guy diverse into the Transformers, so wasn't too much into when they got into the animal versions of the Transformers, but they really introduced these guys really coolly. Like, I was like, damn, like Primus, I think his name was. I was like, whoa, this guy seems really cool. I like the character design. I like his tone. I like the way he is. Like, you know, it almost kind of mirrored what Optimus Prime is as well. Kind of seeing him as a leader. The unfortunate thing about this though is that I think they should have maybe utilized them more in this movie. It almost felt like they didn't take them. I don't know if this would be spoilery or not. Just be warned if I it is spoilery. This is your spoiler alert here. They don't really come out that much and throughout the movie. They come out towards the end of the movie, the second half, like second half towards the end. And I was kind of surprised about that because isn't this kind of a beast, what is it called, Beast Wars movie or whatever, or Rise of the Beast? Like, for them not to be coming out like that often and them to come out in the last portion of the movie was really surprising. I think they should have been utilizing them more, especially because they were super awesome when they did come out. I think that's one of my main gripes of the movie, is that like they could have utilized them a little more. The narrative could have been a little bit more like, they could have took a little bit more time with the characters, develop them a little bit more, instead of just kind of throwing them in there and saying, hey, this is your job that you need to do. They did their best with it, especially with the runtime. I don't know if that's was the case in this movie, or I don't know exactly what was going on behind the scenes, but they did the best that they could. You know, Noah, the main character, had a little brother who has some sort of disease or some sort of illness that he needs to take care of. So he had a lot of motive trying to do that. But just the way Noah got to where he got to and meeting the Autobots, it was a little bit like weak, I would say, but you know, it is what it is. And overall, I think I found myself enjoying this movie a lot. I gotta shout out Pete Davidson. He did an amazing job. He really carried a lot of the scenes, and I was quite pleasantly surprised by him. He's definitely is MVP of this movie. As far as Optimus Prime, like I said, this movie was a little grittier. You know, I was like, whoa, like Optimus Prime is talking about chopping heads off and stuff. I was like, okay, you know, but maybe that shows a little bit more of his despair, his wear and tear that has happened over time. And you know, he was more of quiet this time around, and it was more of the surrounding cast that I feel like was kind of being more at the forefront here this time around. But I gotta say, man, this movie was great. It was fantastic. It was really enjoyable. It was really palatable, and I really liked it so much. I was super surprised, and I'm glad I was. And I cannot wait for the next one. There was a big surprise at the end there that they brought up. No spoilers. You guys got to go watch it yourself. But with that being said, man, I got to give this movie a 7.5. This is definitely a movie you should go check out, especially if you're a Transformers person. If you really love the franchise, this is going to be a movie for you. This is going to be something that you're really going to enjoy. I did. And if you guys did end up watching it, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you smash that sub button. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.